video isn't about black and white. It's not about the ANC, the DA, a gang, or even the EFF. This video is about the story that South Africa is telling the world and what each and every one of us are doing to help South Africa reach new heights. It's easy to criticize what's happening in our country, but nobody really talks about how to change the future. We live in the past mistakes, past hurts, and even past victories. It's time to learn from the past and let it go. This video's goal above all else is to challenge people's conceptions and provoke thought. We're not trying to get you to vote for a specific party, or even vote at all if you don't want to. All we're asking is that you think about what story you and the rest of South Africa are telling the world.
South Africa is telling the world that we can live together, that we can work together, and that we can overcome the challenges of our oppressed past.
We're telling a story that's very different to the rest of Africa actually, and one that's full of hope, that's full of forgiveness actually, which I think is probably the most redemptive part about South Africa's story.
We have come out of something really bad and we're trying to move forward. We actually don't have the intellectual and even willful resources to move forward.
Hopefully one of progress and change, moving from a no to a yes and learning to accept each other for something similar.
We are free to do whatever we want. Politically, we're free to vote for whoever we want.
If the story starts to go down the wrong path, I want to do everything in my power to rally together a voice.
And all of us are taking conscious steps every day to reject racism, to choose to love, to choose to do what feels right, to treat people like equals. And I think it's the only way we have a part in the story, otherwise we're part of the problem and the story means nothing to us.
When I try to go anywhere else in the world, everyone views me with the lens that they view the whole country and they view government or they view any other political party that's there. So it affects me how the world views our country as a whole individually, even though I may be completely different or I may be the same.
Everyone does their part individually. Obviously each of us has a role to play, and while it might not be all that clear to all of us, the way we deal with each other is very relevant. To be honest, I don't think I would change it. I think that the only way to actually change anything is to accept it and move forward.
What I've really wanted to change was how we view the idea of election. I feel like we're all looking at it as a power situation rather than looking at it as a building situation. And I really want to change the idea of racializing elections. I really want to change the idea of racializing anything really. I think that we as a nation need rehabilitation rather than something like a plaster over the wound.
Despite all the equality that we profess, actually there's huge inequalities in South Africa among economic groups, among gender, among race, and that's probably the hugest thing. And I think by South Africans truly embracing equality and probably rejecting selfishness.
As a nation, we can't keep blaming apartheid.
If I was treated the same way that someone else would treat a white guy or an Indian guy, I think I'll feel the need to actually respect everyone else the same way, since I'm being treated the same way as everyone.
I believe South Africa has a story of hope, that the value of a human life is not based on the color of skin. 20 years of democracy is a privilege that the youth of today can experience. But if we continue to explore the roads of the past, we will live with a misguided future. In an age where it's less about what you can do for your country and more about what your country can do for you. What can we do to help South Africa? Even if it's small, we've got to start somewhere. Every marathon begins with small steps. Every movement begins with a single person. Make a choice today. Vote smart.